What's going on, guys, and welcome back to episode number 28 now of the Leeds United career mode. In this episode, we take on Newcastle in the playoff final, the last game of this season before we move into the second season. And what a game this is. It's to see if we'll be playing Premier League football next season or if we'll be still in the Championship, but in Europe, may I add, after the last episode. If you haven't watched that, go back and watch it. I'll try my best to not spoil it as much as I possibly can. But, obviously, I'm hoping you've seen that before you clicked onto this video. And if you haven't, then go back and watch it before you watch this one. It'll make a lot more sense to you guys. So, we played in the FA Cup final last game, and if you'd have seen that one, you'd have known how that ended, and you know the result of that game. Coming into this one, though, we're back at Wembley a week later as we take on Newcastle for the playoff final in the attempt to get to the Premier League. We tried to do it through the automatic promotion of getting the top two. We were unable to do that as Norwich, and I do believe it was Aston Villa, went straight back up after coming down to the Championship. Now, we had the chance to be the heartbreakers as Newcastle were looking to bounce back as well. It was a possibility for all the three Premier League clubs that were relegated last season to try and get themselves back into the Premier League. So all we had to do today was stop that happening by beating Newcastle here, and we would break the hearts of a number of the Newcastle fans. And I know they're a very passionate bunch up the north, so it was always going to be a game where I was looking to win, but at the same time, I would have broken the hearts of many, many Newcastle fans had I have won this game coming up in just a second. They obviously have a very strong side. They have Mohamed Diame, obviously. He's the top scorer in the Championship so far this season. Bit weird to say when he's a cam, but then they've also got Chancellor and Bemba at centre-back. They've got Jose Perez, they've got Mitrovic, they've got a number of big players of Newcastle, big Premier League players as well, or Premier League quality players in my opinion. And that was the side that we named in this game coming up against them. Silvestri, Berardi, Janssen, I think Garcia, Miguel. I think it was pretty much the same side we'd named in that FA Cup final, barring one change where I bought in Diarraga, Forley and Bridcut because he didn't have the greatest of games last episode did Bridcut. So I decided to make that change, and we brought in Diarraga for this one to see if he could make a difference for us. And 9 minutes into this game, we created the first chance. It fell Diarraga, who is in the side today, gets his first touch of the ball, feeds it into Joe Green. I'm thinking at this point, go on, Joe, you got your chance now. He was absolutely amazing for us in the last episode. Cuts inside of his man, feeds it to Diarraga, and I'm thinking this is a fairy tale story. However, the Newcastle centre-back was on the line to stop us from making the score 1-0 here in the final. So unlucky the fact we haven't managed to score from that one as it cleared off the line. Nevertheless, though, Ronaldo Vieira back into Pablo Hernandez. Gives it out wide to Joe Green yet again. Good turn from the young man. Back to Chris Wood. Chris Wood tried to pull the trigger, but unfortunately was tackled before he could do so. Into the 19th minute now, and Newcastle would have their first chance of this game. Very poor defensively from me. I couldn't quite make the tackle there as he feeds it into Silva. Silva back inside to the man. I'm not really sure who it was. However, the strike went high and wide from the Newcastle man. He really should have done better with the chance, I have to say. Into the 47th minute now of this one, into the second half, as we give it off to Joel Green, who's going to give it inside again. Diarraga with a second chance in the game for himself to get on the score sheet. This time, though, it was very well saved by the Newcastle goalkeeper. I have to say, Diarraga on the day was absolutely brilliant and could have easily had 2 or 3 goals for himself had we have not been so unlucky in front of goal. As we win the ball back, as we give it into Pablo Hernandez, Mr. Consistent. Fires us into the lead in this one, 51 minutes into the game, and if the game stays like it is, we will be playing Premier League football next season. All we had to do was hold our nerve in this one, as Pablo Hernandez with a wonderful strike sent us a goal up in the game, and I was really, really happy with the way this went. I have to say, we created a few chances in which Newcastle defended with their hearts. I have to say, with the Diarraga chance early on where it's cleared off the line, second one with the keeper making an absolutely wonderful save, but there's just no stopping a strike like that from Pablo Hernandez, who has been absolutely brilliant for us. Him and Joel Green this season have been absolutely phenomenal, along with Sacco as well. Sacco in the Cup has been a breath of fresh air. He's done everything I've asked of him, and he wasn't actually playing on the day. Could have easily made it into the side, but he didn't. Into the 74th minute now, Newcastle created me all sorts of problems after we went 1-0 up. They came at me like fire. I couldn't clear the ball from this one. Berardi, it's not cleared away by Una Garcia. Berardi doesn't win the header. It comes into the box where Jack Colback has an initial effort blocked. The second one blocked again. The ball falls to him for a third time in the area, and the central midfielder could only fire wide of the post. There's 77 minutes on the clock. It should have been Newcastle 1, Leeds United 1, but it wasn't, and it was very unfortunate that Newcastle missed those chances as they would create another chance for themselves. A lovely touch by Matt Ritchie to get him into a good position. Gives it off to Colback yet again, who had another chance for Newcastle, but he sent this one wide of the post just like he did with his last chance. So Newcastle had a couple of chances there, and they messed up on them. In all honesty, we tried to create something here. Diarraga meant the ball through for Chris Wood. He ended up backing away for some reason, but it fell through to Kamaru, who fires us 2-0 into the lead against the run of play. It was all Newcastle after we made it 1-0, but I have to say they missed chances, and they were made to rue those missed chances as we sent through Kamaru, They meant it for Chris Wood, but he didn't actually get on the end of it. Kamar Roof did, and how about that for a finish by our young man as he sent us 2-0 up in the game. We were cruising. Honestly, though, it wasn't easy because Newcastle, like I said, had a few chances in which they should have scored. If Jack Colback scores that chance there and Newcastle are back in it, this game could have gone either way, but thankfully it didn't. Into the 90th minute now, just as Newcastle were trying to get themselves a consolation goal. It comes to a man on the edge of the area. He gives it off to John Joe Shelby, who could only fire his strike over the bar. But that was all she wrote for the game as we won the game by 2-0. And we will be playing Premier League football next season, which I cannot stress enough how important this was for me. For this series to go on and for me to enjoy it even more, I have to be playing Premier League football. And that's exactly what we have managed to do here after we've beaten Newcastle by 2-0. On the day, this game could have gone either way. As I said, Newcastle, if they don't miss the chances they did and actually were better in front of goal, would have caused us some problems. However, they missed big chances in this game. We took the two that we had, which were big chances. If you take away the strike from Pablo Hernandez, how good that strike was, it was 0-0 still, and it could have gone either way, but thankfully it didn't go either way. And for the second time within the space of a week, and I don't want to spoil it for you, so if you haven't already seen it, go back and watch the episode before I spoil it. Well, Pablo Hernandez will be lifting yet another trophy for himself. He won the FA Cup, he lifted that last week. This week, he lifts the playoff final trophy as we are now the playoff final champions, and it means that now we're playing Premier League football next season, which I cannot wait to bring you. On top of that as well, we obviously have a number of transfers to try and bring in. So I did say a few episodes ago, or quite a number of episodes ago now, that if we didn't get any more than £10 million in the transfer budget, I was going to buy a financial takeover. That will not be happening. The main reason why it won't be happening is because I did say that I was going to buy a financial takeover. I won't be buying a financial takeover. I just decided that we will just go with whatever budget we've got, try and get rid of some of the deadweight players that we've got here we're not going to be playing, and then basically just try and build Leeds United up as a club. Rather than getting a financial takeover, let's just try and build them up from what we are doing now. And obviously, come January, we could be in a position where I need a financial takeover in order to bring players in to keep us in the Premier League. We don't know how this Premier League season is going to pan out, as at the moment, we are struggling in terms of injuries. As we see, Iwobi's still on 2 months. We have, I do believe, Antonsen picked up another injury in the time that we actually did this. We've got, I don't want to get into the Premier League, have too many injuries, and not be able to name a side that I believe can win us games and get us points. That at the end of the day, our objective for next season is going to be trying to stay up in the Premier League. I hope the board don't give me something crazy like finish, top 6 or top 10 or whatever. I hope they actually just say avoid relegation, because that makes the most sense. As you see there, Newcastle had 10 shots on the day, but only 3 of those on target. So if they were better in front of goal, they would have caused us much, much more problems in terms of that one. But thankfully, we won the game. We are playing Premier League football next season. We won the FA Cup as well, so 2 trophies in our first season here at Leeds United cannot be frowned upon. I have to say, I was very happy with that one. I'm going to be showing you now the squad report come the end of the season, so you can see how each player have progressed and what they've done in terms of goals, assists, whatever games they played. I'll be showing you the top scorer in the division. I'll be showing you the league table, and it'll be just a roundup basically showing you how we've done this season at Leeds United. It's taken so long to get the first season out of the way, but now we've got it out of the way. I hope you guys are excited for Premier League football next season. Smash that like button if you want me to basically, well, I suppose you're going to be seeing the Premier League football anyways, but on top of that, we're also in Europe next season, which I didn't realise at the time of recording the next few episodes, meaning that I didn't manage to sign that many players, and I do think that we're going to struggle in terms of squad depth for next season. But this is now the squad report that I will be showing you. Silvestri obviously started playing after we dropped Rob Green for a bit after he started decreasing. He went down by 2 in the end, did Rob Green. Played 41 times for us, though. Silvestri played like 21 times or something along those lines. If you want to see any player in more depth, just pause the video on whichever player you want to check out, and you'll be able to see them. I'll talk a little bit about the better ones in terms of that. Miguel going up by 6 to a 67. He played 19 times for us here at Leeds United, keeping 13 clean sheets. Eiling up by 1 as well, played 30 times. Louis Coyle played a few times for us, 25 I think in total, 67 overall. He's gone up by 2. Janssen, before he leaves, as he is only on loan, went up to a 78 overall centre-back. He was wonderful for us here at Leeds United. Unai Garcia, who is the man that we signed into the club, played 31 times for us, and he only cost us £1.4 million. Very good signing he was, and he's going to be vital in next season when we get up to the Premier League in terms of our defensive unit. We obviously got Liam Cooper, Paul McKay. These guys didn't really feature. Belushi's coming back from his loan spell, but again, is he good enough for the Premier League? I'm not quite sure he will be. Diarraga, 69 overall as well. He's didn't grow, unfortunately, but he was very good for us when we did play. Will Jackson up by 5, one of the Youth Academy projects as well. He's gone up by 5. Liam Brickett up by 1. Obviously, signing for 3.9 million, but it wasn't us who did that. That was Leeds when we came in. Bataka up by 2, but he will be one of the players leaving the club when I do get into the Premier League. We get him back from his loan spell. Ronaldo Vieira going up by 10 overall ratings to a 73. Very good season for him. Luke Murphy up by 1 as well. Calvin Phillips up by 2. A number of these players, guys, you will not be seeing next season, though, in the Premier League, because obviously they're just not quite good enough. Iwobi up by 3 as well, since his sign from Arsenal. We didn't actually use him in the training system, so that's 3 overalls just purely from playing games. Dallas up by 1 as well to a 71. Pablo Hernandez unfortunately went down a rating. However, he was still very good for us. Moa up by 3 as well. 9 goals in total for him, but the main man there, Joel Green, up by 14 overall points. You saw what he did in terms of goals, assists, and games played. Hadi Sacco, 28 games, 7 goals, 2 assists. He went up, I do believe. Owen Allen, another one of the Youth Academy prospects as well. Kamar Roof, 12 goals, in 31 games, 9 in the Championship in total. Not that great. Chris Wood as well, up by 1 into a 73 overall, 14 goals, in the games that he played, 11 in the league. And then we obviously had Antonsen as well, who chipped in with the fair few goals. And Dakara got 1 in his time at least. Dakara will be one of the players leaving in the Premier League. So that's how the squad looked come the end of the season. We are currently on an 86 rating in terms of manager rating. So very nice to see that as well. I think in terms of goals, though, you're going to see that, yeah, there you go. So Diame finished top. Liam Brady finished in 2nd. Then we've got a number of the other players there. Beckford in there. I think the highest rated for us was Chris Wood on 11. In terms of assists, Adoma was topped by Villa, but look where Joel Green is. He's sat in 7th in terms of assists. We got the most clean sheets in the league with Rob Green, but we also had the likes of Silvestri not too far down the list as well. In terms of yellow cards, I don't think we picked many up this season, so we weren't in the yellow card or red card list with any of the players, thankfully, which is very nice to see. We kept a very clean sort of record this season, so it's nice to see there that we didn't get many red cards. Obviously, when we get those few players into the club, there's a number of players joining us here in the Season 2 upcoming on pre-contracts. One of those is a central defensive midfielder, and actually 2 of them are, Vernon Anita as well. And there's another man coming in as well, but I can't quite remember his name. He's a Brazilian centre defensive midfielder with tough tackling traits. So I can imagine we're going to pick up a fair few yellow cards and red cards next season when it comes to that one, as we will be naming him probably in the side when he comes. I think he's 74 overall. You see it in the next episode anyway, coming up here on this Leeds United career mode. We are coming towards the back end of the season though, so I want to just say something really quickly. If you have enjoyed this first season of the career mode, please smash that like button. It means so much. End of the season now, we're going into the Premier League season coming up. We're obviously in Europe as well, so I'll be looking forward to giving you guys as many episodes as this as possible. As you can see, I'm doing a bit more training before we move into the next season. You're going to see the completely done season when we move into the next. You're going to see what the board said about this season. As you can see here, last bit of training, moving into this last bit. Miguel actually went up a few more ratings than what I showed you in the squad report due to this training come the end of the season. I probably should have done the squad report now, but I actually didn't realise at the time that we would be able to train a few more players anyway. So if I'd have known that at the time, I wouldn't have done it as early as I did. But nevertheless, anyways, we got his 66 rated Jackson, who's up by 6 now, because he was 60 rated when he started here at the club. As you can see, ending the season off, the board said that they were absolutely over the moon. They could not be happier with the performance of the management at this current time. Moving into season number 2 now, and you will have to wait and see about all the players that we've got coming into the club and all the transfers we'll be having in the next episode. So I want to thank you all so much for watching this episode of Career Mode. If you have enjoyed, smash that like button, and I'll see you all for the next episode and season 2 of the Leeds United Career Mode in the next video. Adios!